I guess the conference championships was one that was 2 weekends ago. And the classic race just went so-so for me. I had troubles adapting to a week off, kind of a break. But then the 5K, 3x5K relay, I knew that we had a good chance to do something cool there because we have really strong guys this year. And coming into the relay, we needed to beat Michigan Tech in order to beat them for the conference championships and take a podium, which is something that's never been done before. So coming into the relay, the first leg, Paul led out, and he was right with Tech's #1 guy. So I mean, pretty much even, no big loss there. And then the second leg, Scott Johannick, he was our second guy, and he lost only 5 to 10 seconds to Tech, so we were still right in it. But I had to make up about 10 seconds on that group, and there's 3 skiers there, and I could not make up any time at all throughout the entire 5K. Till about 4K, I could see that the Tech skier just broke. He was dying, so made one last final push, caught up that 10 seconds, and then in the last 500 meters put on another 15 on top of that. So he died, and I had a pretty good last K, which was kind of cool because then across the finish line, threw my hands up, and the entire team comes sprinting over and is like all in celebration of beating Tech, which is a Division II school. Well, it was pretty cool to have all those accomplishments, and it's cool that there's another guy on the team, Paul Schomer, that has just equally as cool accomplishments, if not better, in my opinion. But anyways, at the beginning of the season, Chad and I had a goal to make it to NCAAs, along with Paul. That was definitely a big goal of his, which we accomplished in the end. It was a little bit close, but worked it out. And so the beginning of the season worked out really well to my advantage. We didn't race at the national championship in Maine, which a lot of other teams did, and that just we took a nice week to get rested up, come into the season racing strong, while other teams, a few guys got sick. Other teams were just beat down in the first weekends of racing, and that's kind of where I think I had the best races of the season. The first weekend I had a 4th and a 5th place finish, and then the next weekend I think it was like a 7th and a 5th or something like that. And up until Green Acres was the first weekend where we hit a podium with Paul getting 3rd, and then the second day I won, and then Paul was 3rd again. That was pretty sweet to have 3 podiums that weekend for our team, and the first team win. The only thing that I kind of take away from it is that the 2 best teams in the region weren't there, NMU and UAF. But Michigan Tech was still there. They're still a great team, really strong team. So to come away with a win is pretty cool. In these last couple weekends, it was and points start to get better. You start to look at the points list and realize who's going to be there kind of in the fight, in the thick of things. And it ended up being me, Paul, and then there was a UAF guy, a Michigan Tech guy, all fighting for 2 spots. And came down to it pretty close in the end. I was the 7th finisher. Paul was 8th, and Paul only qualified by about 6 seconds over the series of 4 races. So that was pretty sweet. Well, I mean, it's sweet to have a really young team. We're not graduating anybody this year, which just makes it better for next year. We have even higher goals than what we did this year. It'd be sweet to come out with a 2nd place or possibly even beat NMU sometime when both NMU and UAF are there. We've never been able to beat NMU before, so to be able to do that would be something special, I think. And then as far as the team goes, I mean, we have such great chemistry on this team. The last weekend of racing, regionals, on Thursday before the first set of races, everybody on the ski team pretty much donated a pair of skis. We had 5 or 6 pairs of skis. We went out and tested and figured out which skis were the fastest. And Joe Dubé, another guy on the team, great guy, freshman, he had the fastest skis on the day. He didn't race on them. He gave them to me. So I raced on Joe's skis, and then Paul raced on Casey's skis. And so it's cool when the team just sacrifices their best equipment for other people on the team. And all around the team is just, that's what happens. Like, people sacrifice themselves for others on the team. Like, we would do anything for anybody on the team. Because on Saturday during the classic race, Paul and I had a little bit of a crash. We got tangled up together, and Joe was there kind of right with us, and he knew that we needed a good race on Saturday in order to go. And so instead of just racing for himself, what he did is he got in front of us and asked us if he wants to pull us back to the lead pack. And so he went and pretty much sprinted as fast as he could for, it was about 2K. We didn't get up to the lead pack, but if he wasn't there sprinting and we just followed behind him, got in his draft and followed behind him, I don't think either one of us would have qualified, me or Paul. So if it wasn't for Joe on that day kind of sacrificing his race, he didn't finish that well because he was pretty much dead after that, but if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have been here. So, I mean, it is the national championships. There's 39 guys that are going to be there racing, all pretty much best in the nation. And Paul and I are both kind of a little bit worried about it just because we were the bottom 2 qualifiers in the weakest region. But we both have our kind of heads held high just because the classic races that we've had this year haven't been really accurate predictions of what we can do, just because we haven't had any snow here to classic ski to practice on that. We now have good snow now, so we're going to pretty much focus this week on all classic skiing, and when we're out there, it's all going to be classic skiing, so that hopefully we'll have a pretty good result in the classic race. And skating, we're both pretty strong. That's what our strong suit is. So we're both looking to have a pretty high result in the skate race. It'd be sweet to be a top 30, top 25. I know that doesn't sound much against 39 people, but when you're racing against 25, 26, 27-year-olds that are from Norway, Finland, Sweden, Germany, all those places, it's we're at a little bit of a disadvantage there. And then as far as the racing goes, I mean, just Paul and I just together are kind of surreal that we're going to be spending 2 weeks in Montana just living the life pretty much. Just don't have to worry about school. I mean, we have to worry about school. There's a lot of stuff that we have to make up, but don't have to worry about classes. Just go train, chill out, have fun. It'll be a good experience, I think. And the nice thing is that we have this year and to kind of get the experience of it, and then next year, hopefully the same thing, and I'll know what it's like and know what to expect and possibly even do better.